Okay, we're sitting here today with Anthony Carroll, better known as Harries from Bondi Rescue. Mate, thanks for coming in today. The theme of our podcast today is In Shape, In Love and Inspired, and I see you as a pretty good example of that. So yeah, we know you're a lifeguard, mate, but tell us about the Pilates. How'd you get into that?
Pilates, I kept having debilitating back injuries, just pretty much from all the surfing that I do and a lot of road running. And I just got to the stage I needed something, and I would fix everything by Band-Aid. I'd be back after 2 weeks exercising, and then the 3-week mark would hit and I'd have a lower back injury again. And Pilates was the answer, definitely.
It helped, it fixed a lot of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I had no strength, mainly in my posterior sling, because everything I was doing is anterior, running and surfing, and yeah, Pilates was amazing.
Actually, it just occurred to me, where'd Harries come from?
Harries is a surf break close to Bondi, and we live close to the break called Harries, and the kids used to say, "What's Harries like?" So don't call me Harries.
Okay. Yeah, mate, your family, you're married to Emily. She's also a Pilates instructor. You've got the 2 kids. You're a professional lifeguard. You've got a few media commitments, public appearances. You teach Pilates. How do you fit it all in? Is there a secret to balance on top of your own exercise?
Yeah, it's been extremely challenging, and you'll hear people say, "Oh, they can manage multiple things." I had 11 contracts. I have full-time job on the lifeguards. I've got Bondi Rescue contract, and then I've got my Pilates work on top of that, and then you've got 2 kids and a wife, and it's challenging. I'm basically doing. I love what I do. Firstly, like as long as I can get a surf in and kind of just. I suppose even my keel again, is I can get a surf in and get a Pilates class into even that keel. I find everything else just kind of to flow quite easily down the river. Okay. I'm really lucky that I've got a supporting wife, and we both love Pilates. We're so passionate about it, and to have 2 boys, I'm just so gifted.
Yeah, pretty blessed, hey?
Really blessed.
What about nutrition? Do you have a philosophy or thoughts on nutrition, or?
Yeah, my diet was okay before I had kids. I would eat healthy, but I did have a lot of sugar intake, and that would be chocolate or lollies. And I think because of the high amount of output of energy that I was using, but then I was fluctuating with moods to a degree. As soon as I had kids, I literally cut sugar out or minimised it to probably, out of 100%, probably 5%. I noticed a massive change.
So we talk about cutting sugar out, and we're not talking about a couple of teaspoons in a cup of tea. Cutting sugar out, what did that involve for you?
For me, cutting sugar out was looking at the ingredients. What's actually going into my mouth? What's actually fueling me?
Aside from the obvious stuff like chocolate and lollies, are you talking about the hidden sugars or other things?
Yeah, the hidden sugars, and then getting educated about other things like corn syrup or corn starch, which is, I found out was like 35% higher in sugar when the body accepts it. So just, getting rid of the little nasties, and I noticed a massive change.
Yep. So a couple of key topics I want to touch on. In Shape, what do you do for your own training?
I vary my training daily because I don't have a rigid platform. My first thing, I dream about surfing still at this age. I'm 44 now, and so to go surfing is just everything. That's my way, kind of, or should I say, my outlet. But I'd like to get about 3 to 4 Pilates classes in a week. That either been a reformer class or a mat class, plus the teaching that I do. I still run probably 3 times a week, and I'm smart about my running. I like to do running on the grass. I'll probably run the road once a week. And then I like to do gym. I still like to do weights. I'm quite thin from all the endurance stuff that I'm doing. So yeah, it's a must that you still do weights with your reformer and your mat.
Good answer. So in shape, in love, inspired. What do you do to keep the flame alive with Emily?
Oh, yeah. It makes it so much easier having a wife that's absolutely stunning. The challenges of being a ladies' man in my past life, and having an abundance of beautiful mermaids on the beach every day, it makes it a whole lot easier having, you know, the most beautiful lady to come home to. You know, I'm a family man. I've had it all in my past life, so I definitely don't need it, and I'm not looking for it. But yeah, love, you know, love and yeah.
Your communication pretty good?
Yeah. Look, everyone gets a...
Sorry, I do raise that point because I've been married 12 years to Lauren, and in the early days we didn't communicate so good, and we paid the price, and these days it's really good. But I suppose when you're busy, like we said, you work, you've got a whole bunch of stuff on, you've got the kids, you train for 10 hours a week, like, you know, I'm really passionate about couples, 30s, 40s, 50s, kids, careers. We're juggling these balls, health, relationships, you know, work, and we're inevitably dropping a ball or two here and there. So you've got your head at acres. It seems like you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's so much different. And I'll use my I'll use my parents for an example. They both had a 9-to-5 job. They own a house on the water at Clovelly. You know, I'm working probably, you know, 60 to 70 hours a week. You know, it's a lot different. You're doing triple the amount that our parents were doing, and that puts challenges on your relationship. And you got to keep kind of finding that love and passion, looking to each other for support and advice, and communicating, non-stop. You know, I've been through everything in life with the job I've done. I've resuscitated 70 people. I've pulled probably 70 to 80 people dead out of the water from suicides. And, you know, people that were functioning in society, you know, moments before, and I really look at the small things. I look at my wife and I look at my kids and I think, wow, how lucky you are, you know. We're all in this big race, or call it a rat race, whatever it is, but you got to look at the small things. And the first thing is love. You got to love yourself before you can love someone else. That's number one. You got to look in the mirror and say you're bloody hot. And then you got to look at your loved one and be in love with them.
Cool, mate. Good answer. Thanks for being open. What are you working on at the moment? What's any projects?
Yeah, I've just completed my Pilates app, and you know, as a competitor to other Pilates people out there, I've been really lucky to study with experts throughout the world. So that'll be based on a spinal specialist, based on a glute specialist that I've been working with, based on a scientist that does the UV stuff. And then I've brought some experts in, a lifeguard that's a Wim Hof trainer, and foundation training as well. So, and then having Emily do the Pilates.
Yeah. So, and when's that finalised, or will that be out soon?
So that'll be out in a month. Yeah, so it's getting cut now, so I'm stoked. I never thought I would have done this. So this COVID thing, it's been and you know what we've been through at the beach is something obviously very different. They had the beaches cordoned off. No one was allowed on the beach, which I just found absolutely crazy, that everyone comes to the beach to firstly get fresh air, get a swim in, and clear their mental health. You know, we're all at a different stage. You know, mental health is used so widely and broadly now, but we're all at a different stage in the battle. It's how you take that battle on. Yep,
of course. So yeah, we see you on telly as this big personality, but you're really passionate about movement and anatomy. I mean, you know, passions are interesting things. Some people are passionate about knitting or worm farming. Why movement and anatomy?
I'm so intrigued now about movement of a person. That I watch continuously to see posture and alignment, watching someone walk down the promenade, you know, at Bondi. If they're owning the promenade, why are they moving so well and functioning so, you know, so high in society? And I'm just so interested, and I want to help people. I can't believe how big this industry is, and I feel like you're just a small fish learning so much, and I love it. I just dream about it. Lifeguarding is amazing to save someone's life, and you bring them back to the shore. But to see someone with a massive smile on their face after helping them, aiding them, you know, through an injury or illness, just through something, you know, that feels so minute, through Pilates, you know, just getting someone to breathe correctly, is the best reward in the world.
That's why I love my work. I've always had this little goal to be the best part of someone's day, and it sometimes you are, quite often you are, you know. You never know what people have got going on in the rest of their life. But big question, like your secret to living a life of inspiration and passion. You've touched on a couple of things like helping people and doing what you love. Anything else, or is that most of it?
What I try and do is focus on key mentors, and if that's like a spinal specialist or a Pilates teacher as a mentor, and then having other father figures that are key mentors out there in society, and really using those tools that they have. They're not rules, but they're tools that they have, and kind of trying to integrate that into my daily lifestyle. It means a lot. For me, with the lifeguards, it's changed. I'm an older guy now, and I've got a lot of younger men that work with me. When I was a kid, it wasn't something you spoke about, emotions, and now young men talk about emotions, and you just got to be aware that people do have feelings and emotions, and it's more spoken about now, and that's a great thing.
It is a good thing. Mate, last question, where will you be 10 years?
In 10 years from now, 54, wow, what are the challenges? Well, I don't think we'll be doing anything naughty in calendar shirts at 54. I reckon we'll be living in Cronulla, on the beach down there. Definitely not changing football teams. There's only one team.
Who's that?
That's the Roosters. But not much different. You know, like I keep this happiness in me. I've got everything I want, and 100%, I dream about doing Pilates at 54.
Yeah. So this is you. This is your personality. You're always like this. You don't go home and deflate or cry on the pillow.
No.
Positive guy. You've always been out there, quite extroverted.
I have times when I've never had depression. I've had times when I've been down. I've been through the ringer with the lifeguard job, so there's been challenging times. I've never, been at a stage where I've been locked up in my bedroom or had to go to a drug or something to aid me. But yeah, I've had heavy post-traumatic stress from a death down at the beach. And I was dragged through the coroner's courts with that. And that put a lot of pressure on me. Not so much the death. I've dealt with thousands of deaths in my 25-year history down there. I had a guy on top of me and he's saying, please bring the guy back to life. He's got a 3 and 6-year-old at home. And that didn't affect me before I had kids. But now that I've got kids, I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? That's the flow-on effect. But it's about picking yourself up and finding the tools that you need to make you happy and function again in society. Yeah, so wave your hand, put your hand up, get help. Number one, you can't fight it alone. There's professionals out there that can help you. And it didn't affect me as in, I still did Pilates and surfed every day, but it was something that I'd never been affected by before. But I raised my hand, I got help.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Yeah, I didn't think we'd sort of go there today, but it seems like a bit of a theme, the mental health. But I always think, we've got to live with ourselves 24/7. You've got to be happy inside. But mate, thanks for your time today. You and I are about to take 40 people through a Pilates class. Are you ready to rip in?
Oh, 40 people. I'm really scared in front of crowds, so let's go.
You seem shy. You seem shy. It's okay, mate. I'll help you through it. But thanks for your time today, mate. That's a wrap.
Love it, Scotty. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Harries. Time, mate.